I grew up in North Carolina in the 70s, and growing up, I was bused to a school across town. Um, it used to be that it, I would have attended a neighborhood school, um, but because of segregation and the requirements that were made for diversity in the schools, I was being bused across town to a school that was predominantly African American, and the teachers there were also African American. There were a few teachers who weren't, but I'd say that most of them were. And um, I went to school, and in my classes, the interesting thing, I mean, there are a few interesting things about this, but in my classes, another friend of mine who has deaf parents as well, her name's Vanessa, she and I were in the same classes throughout elementary school. And there were also a few other friends that were in the same class as me, Brian, and a few other friends. And the other people that were in my class, they come from families who were either really poor, or parents were divorced, or they had other stuff going on at home. And I never really thought about this until recently when I was back home and I was looking at every year they have class pictures. And I was looking at them and I really realized, that my actual friends from my neighborhood were never in any of my classes. And I thought about this and thought, well, why is that, And then I realized that they were in the classes with teachers who were white. And Vanessa and I and these other friends of mine who come from homes that weren't as stable, we all had the African American teachers, and that's when it really hit me that their parents probably had something to do with that. They probably had a little bit of influence. They probably went to the principals and said, "I don't want my kid to be in a classroom with a black teacher," and my parents didn't do that, and why they didn't do that, I don't really know. However, I knowing them, I think that it's because it really didn't matter that I was getting an education and that I was learning something and I was going to school, and who my teacher was, really, it wasn't really an issue. And I look back on that and I think about it, and I'm really thankful that I had that opportunity. I think that I had fantastic role models in my teachers and who they were, and that I was able to learn things that my neighborhood friends really didn't learn. So it's just interesting to think about now as an adult.